Is this your question time now?
No, I'm responding to your ridiculous statements you made in your opening statement.
Okay, well, let's get on with it.
Oh, now we want to get on with it. So you can say all the things you want, and I point
I
out
did
the
in my
facts.
opening statement,
I
as
point
well
out
as
all
you
the
had an
facts.
opening statement. You
Chair-
said what you needed to say in your opening statement, and I, as the ranking member, have
Without
used my
objection,
time.
all other opening statements will be included in the record.
They can't handle transparency. Every time the truth starts coming out, the left panics. Jim Jordan just called out Stacey Plaskett after she tried to attack Tucker Carlson for receiving January 6th footage. Folks, this is what happens when Democrats lose control of the narrative. They start calling truth a threat. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss when we expose the left's hypocrisy right here on this channel.
Mr. Chairman, I'm not exaggerating when I say that you have called before you two witnesses who pose a direct threat to people who oppose them. It's funny when people have to go through that. Exactly. This is unacceptable. I'm ready for it. I don't know if a lot of other people are. But just as it was unacceptable for Kevin McCarthy to provide 41,000 hours of sensitive security footage to a biased talking head in an effort to rewrite what happened on January 6th. This is a new Republican playbook, apparently.
Mr.
Risk
Chairman.
American safety and security to score political points.
The gentlelady's words should be struck. We do not accuse witnesses of threatening others. That is out of line and outside the rules of this committee.
I'm not striking down that, and I can have an
You
opinion
don't get to determine
about
what's struck down.
witnesses.
Well, you do get an opening statement, and it's
And
about,
so let
it's
me
about
finish.
over.
The committee will suspend.
We know this is because at the first hearing, the chairman claimed that big government and big tech colluded to shape and mold the narrative and suppress information and censor Americans. This is a false narrative. We're engaging in false narratives here, and we are going to tell the truth. I yield back.
Gentlelady yields back. I would just point out the consent decree was in our report. We offered your staff also the opportunity to review the FTC letters. You have not come over to review those letters. Third, the idea that I believe both of these individuals who are getting ready to testify, I believe they're both Democrats. The idea that two journalists who happen to be
Did you not give that offer at 8 o'clock last
I'm
night?
talking now. Your time was ended a few
Neither of
seconds
us
ago.
are in time.
I don't think they're here to help us politically. I think they're here to tell us the truth. And oh, by the way, the first FTC letter to Twitter after the first set of Twitter files, the very first question was, who are the journalists you're talking to? And you guys don't care. You don't care.
You
don't
care
want
about the
you don't want the American
2011
people to see.
consent
You don't
decree?
want the American people to see what happened, the full video, transparency. You don't want that, and you don't want two journalists who have been named personally by the Biden administration, FTC, in a letter.
The Biden administration
And you're saying
is
they're
not
here
the
to help us.
FTC.
They're here to tell their story. And frankly, I think they're brave individuals for being willing to come after they've been named in a letter from the Biden FTC.
Is this your question time now?
No, I'm responding to your ridiculous statements you made in your opening statement.
Okay, well, let's get on with it.
Oh, now we want to get on with it. So you can
did.
say all the things you want, and I
I
point out
did
the
in my
facts.
opening statement,
I
as
point
well
out
as
all
you
the
had an
facts.
opening statement. You
chair-
said what you needed to say in your opening statement, and I, as the ranking member, have
Without
used my
objection,
time.
all other opening statements will be included in the record. We will introduce today's witness, Matt Taibbi. He's a journalist and author. He's one of the authors of the Twitter files, previously worked for Rolling Stone, that right-wing publication, Rolling Stone, where so many Republicans work at. He's also written several books about American politics and culture. And of course, as I pointed out, as the Wall Street Journal pointed out yesterday on the front page, was named by the FTC. Michael Schellenberger is also a journalist, author, and one of the authors of the Twitter files. He's also co-founded several nonprofits, including Breakthrough Institute, Environmental Progress, and the California.
So here we go again, another day, another meltdown from the Democrats. Stacey Plaskett couldn't stand the fact that Jim Jordan and Tucker Carlson were exposing what really happened on January 6th. She accused Republicans of putting American safety at risk by giving Tucker Carlson access to over 40,000 hours of January 6th security footage. Think about that. They're terrified of you seeing the full picture. They want to keep control of what you're allowed to see, what you're allowed to think, and what you're allowed to say. Jim Jordan fired back hard, calling out the hypocrisy straight to her face. He reminded everyone that the whole point of these hearings is transparency, something the Democrats claim to support until it makes them look bad. He made it clear that the footage wasn't about politics, it was about truth. About showing Americans the whole story, not just the cherry-picked clips the mainstream media feeds us. And here's the key part that Democrats don't want you to hear. The first thing the Biden administration's FTC did after the Twitter files dropped was ask who the journalists were. Not what was revealed, who said it. They were more interested in silencing the messengers than fixing the problem. That tells you everything you need to know. Jim Jordan defended journalists Matt Taibbi and Michael Shellenberger for having the courage to expose government interference in big tech. Both of these men are Democrats, yet they're being attacked by the Biden administration because they dared to tell the truth. Meanwhile, Stacey Plaskett keeps repeating that Republicans are spreading false narratives. Really? The only false narrative here is the one the left built around January 6th, a story designed to demonize conservatives, silence dissent, and weaponize the government against political opponents. This isn't about safety. This is about power. Democrats don't want transparency because transparency destroys their control. Once the American people see the full footage, the full emails, the full evidence, they'll realize the narrative we've been fed for years was a lie. Jim Jordan didn't just defend Tucker Carlson, he defended the right of Americans to know the truth. That's the real battle here, whether free speech and transparency will survive in this country or whether the left will continue using fear and censorship to keep control. So, when Stacey Plaskett says that letting Tucker see the footage is dangerous, what she really means is, it's dangerous to them. Because truth is the biggest threat to tyranny. That's why it's so important to support the people who are fighting for truth and transparency. Jim Jordan, Tucker Carlson, and journalists like Taibbi and Shellenberger are standing up against the machine. And they need us, the American people, awake, informed, and unafraid to speak up. If you believe in freedom, if you believe in truth, and if you're tired of seeing Democrats twist everything into a political weapon, then this channel is for you. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it everywhere so we can keep spreading the truth the mainstream media won't touch.